Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at Ultimate X-Men Omnibus 1. Now, in terms of Ultimate X-Men, I remember when these first came out, and similar to Spider-Man, I ignored them completely. I was not interested. It felt like they were doing some sort of reboot, etc. So I stuck with what I was reading, and shortly after I changed from late teenagers to a man. There was a good few years in between where actually I didn't read X-Men. In my mind at the time, I felt that being a grown-up, you have to let these things stop happening. So I didn't actually read any X-Men until later on. So what I'm getting at is, even when I came back to reading, probably around 2006, if I remember correctly, it was Astonishing X-Men that roped me right in, and I was a sucker after that. Back into X-Men, back into collecting stuff. I was, back in that world, enjoying myself. So even with coming back into this, I never once brought an Ultimate X-Men book. I've never even read it on Marvel Unlimited, even though I've had many years on there and plenty of opportunities I never have. So there we go. So I've actually brought the standard cover. Now, when I bought this, I was under the impression that this was gone and this was gone, but I don't know what happened there. But what I didn't want was to buy that Ultimate X-Men direct market cover with Wolverine. Not that I don't like Wolverine. I feel Wolverine has his own omnibuses, which I love. But when it comes to dropping them on the X-Men, I think other than Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 coming out, which I'm definitely getting that cover, I felt like put somebody else on there, man. There must be plenty of other direct market covers that are absolutely stunning. So I didn't understand it. There is the side, and then you've got Xavier down there and Volume 1. And if I'm correct, they've already announced Volume 2 coming out in 2023. So already I'm kind of happy. So if I remember correctly, I think there's around 100 issues in total. So thrilling, new, shockingly different. So this was meant to be the 21st century new world of X-Men. And it's, I have no idea what to expect. So this collects Ultimate X-Men 1 to 33 and 1/2, which, if it's anything like Ultimate Spider-Man, is like a sort of one-shot. And then Ultimate War 1 to 4. So this spanned it over from 2001 to 2002. I guess when this came out, this was roping in probably those that had gone to see the X-Men films. I guess that was the target audience rather than other characters. So this is written by Mark Miller, who did a lot of the Ultimate books back then. Chuck Austin, I wasn't expecting that one. And Jeff Johns. So they're on the writing, and you can see here are the multiple covers. There's obviously not 33. 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe there is 33 covers on there. I'm just looking at it wrong, but there is the covers. Let me just give you a little quick closer look at that. Scroll down, and actually there's a lot of nice covers on there. And that one, if you can see my finger, is the direct market cover, which I didn't want to buy. So let me just carefully take the cover off. And I'm sorry I didn't mention the artists, but there are lots of artists on this book as well. So we got the creators of Mark, Adam, Chris. So they've done they're probably most of the artists. And on here you got sort of like a synthesis, which I'll be honest, I buy these books, I never read the synthesis because I want to read the story, not interested. And then on here we've got this beautiful, beautiful cover, which looks absolutely amazing. And like I said, I have no idea what this bit is about. I'll be honest with you, it looks like they're in space, which is pretty cool, which makes me happy. Right, so let me try and do my angling thing where I try to review this. And as I say this, I say, do you know what? I still need to get a better stand to be able to review omnibuses, so I do apologize. You can hear some crisps, Christmas in there. And then it's got who does what in where. So, which is very interesting. and then just straight in there. So like I said, the trouble is I'm not going to have much to say about this because I've not read it. I've heard some people love this, some people hate it, some people are just like, well, I read it and that was about it. So it's like Marmite, it's perhaps hit and miss for fans. And I think I read somewhere, somebody said it gets weird after a while, but apparently it begins really well. So and then I guess I'll just see. So I've got to read it. I've got to find out if I like it. And generally I'm that person that I don't know what it is, but because it's X-Men, even if I don't think much of the story, I still end up sort of loving it, if that makes sense. Or I just appreciate that there was this story, maybe. I don't know what it is. That's just me being a bit weird. And you can see they've got the covers in there. So Return to Weapon X Part 1. So I find that interesting, so that they've got what the story was about, because I'm presuming 6 issues is perhaps an arc. So it's not just one big continuous story all the way through. So this one, it's still got Return to Weapon X Part 4 in the Heart of Darkness. So it's even more labeled than before. So it's got it there as well. Yeah, I found that a bit strange. Let's try and find another cover. I'm really interested to see what the next cover pops up. Just try and move that around. And away we go. No idea what any of this stuff is. I think that's what makes this exciting, is that I have no idea. So usually when I'm reviewing or giving an overview of X-Men, I can usually comment on what happens in there. Don't get me wrong, I'm human, I forget stuff. Wow, look at that. I'm human, I forget stuff. So there is still that. I was hoping I was going to find a cover there. I clearly did not find a cover. Got Magneto there. So oh, there we go. Oh, that just says Ultimate War, which if I remember right, I guess that's a crossover with the rest of the Ultimate Universe, should we say. So that will be quite interesting. And then I guess after this it goes back to the main Ultimate X-Men run, which will be volume 2. So boom. So I really need to read this, because I'm not giving you anything, so I apologize. I'm just showing you what things look like. So you got some extra covers in there. Mutant Genesis by Mark Miller. So that's an interview, which I think is quite cool. I like that sort of introduction afterward. That's pretty cool. They got some sketches there, which I always enjoyed, making things different. You know, Wolverine's a bit more, he looks a bit more feral. Even more feral there than 616 Wolverine X-Men sketchbook, which is maybe saying it was released. Script to art comparison. So there's quite a lot in here, actually. A lot more than usual. And then there's, yeah, just carrying on. Some more sketches at the back. So there is quite a lot of extras. So if you like your extras, this is actually a pretty good book for it, because there's pages off this. Wow. Oh, I guess this is the cover art concepts. I actually really do like the covers that they produce on this. They do look. I like the ones on the Ultimate X-Men as well. The best X-Men team ever. Ultimate revamp. So that's the sort of thing that would have made me think, oh man, they're just wiping them out. But it was around the sort of time that I stopped reading, to be honest with you. I think 2001 I turned 18. Yes, that's how old I am these days. But you know, that's life. We get diverted by things. But you know, I came back to what I love, which is reading X-Men, and well, I'm probably more into it than I was. I'm certainly more into it than I was back then. I would have been just reading things as they happen. So anyway, there is Ultimate X-Men overview. I can't say much about the story because I have no idea. I'm looking forward to reading the story. And make sure you look after yourself, and as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.